So, looking at these face amounts, what best things fit your needs and your budget?
Well, I like the 35,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think? You want to put that policy in place? We're going to call Lincoln and get you verified and approved?
Well, I kind of want to just think about it for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is the card you left me, is that the good number to call you back on?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but let me ask you, so, what are you going to think about? What is there to think about when you look at this? You say you have nothing right now in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if something happens to you, then you're not going to have any insurance. So I'm sorry, you said who's your beneficiary going to be?
My beneficiary is going to be my wife.
Your wife, okay. And what is her name?
Her name is Ruth.
Ruth, okay. So let me ask you, so if something would happen to you, say tomorrow, and we talked about this and you didn't put the policy in place, what's Ruth going to do?
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen to me though.
That's what you said.
Yeah, that is what
They're
I
calling
said.
for a snowstorm,
Yeah. Yeah.
What would happen if you out there?
Well, honestly, I just kind of want to, I just feel like I can get like a better deal,
Have you talked to somebody else? Have you looked into it?
I don't know. I mean, you're just kind of like one of the first people I talked to, but I know, like that there's other companies out there. So I don't know. It just seems like I thought it would be cheaper than that.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's definitely other companies out there. Like there's multiple kinds of toothpaste and things like that. But we are definitely, like I said, we're number one because we pay our clients within 24 hours. There's a lot of other companies that might take 2 years to get approved. You might send that premium in, and then what if something happens within 2 years? Something could happen to you. Remember, we do same day verification and approval. I walk away and your policy's in place.
Well, when you say take a couple years to get approved, I mean, I had somebody else call me and tell me that they would, I guess, approve me or whatever. Like for example, I got this letter from Globe Life for like 50,000, and it was like, I don't know, like $60 a month or something like that. So I was just gonna mail that in,
Was it a whole life? Because there's multiple policies out there, different kind of insurance policies. This is a whole life. You can't outlive it. And again, based on your great health right now, I mean, this is a great rate. So if something changes with your health, the rates could go up.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think I just kind of want to shop around.
So let me ask you this: what if you could always put in a lower amount? Are you worried about the amount of the premium every month, or what are you worried about?
I'm not really worried. I just feel like I can get it somewhere cheaper. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like for 35,000, under 78. Like I said, I mean, I have one I can just mail up for 50,000. It's like $60.
You have one what?
Like I told you about the one that they mailed me, that they said I
could
mail
the
it
program.
back. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right,
50,000 is like $60 or something. So.
But was it a whole life? Because so there's other policies out there. So there's a policy out there called a term policy. It's definitely cheaper than a whole life policy, but it does increase every 5 years. And it ends also at a certain age. After a certain amount of time, it ends. So you pay in, and then you're left with nothing. So what would your wife do then? When she thinks she has a policy and then she has nothing? Again, you're really healthy, so you're gonna live past your 80s.
Yeah, God willing. Okay. So what are you saying is wrong? Are you saying that the other one is not going to last as long as?
I don't know what kind of policy it is. I don't think you really know exactly what it is. What I'm telling you today is whole life policy. You cannot live it. The rates never change, and you're guaranteed that money in 24 hours.
So, I mean...
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
All right. You said how much was the coverage again?
50,000 for 60.
Okay. So, but you already... Okay, when somebody says an extreme amount like that for that low cost, you already should know. You tell them.
Well, that's why I said it, but I don't want to
But
be.
You got it. But yeah, go ahead.
He asked you. He said, are you saying that's how it works? You said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the policy.
You
You
gotta
have
tell
to
them.
know.
So I thought 60 was kind of high. I thought normally,
50,000 term.
but normally don't they start like 20, 30?
But like, think about it. This is 178 for final expense, right?
So true.
So this
Okay.
is more than
Okay.
half of this.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I need
absolutely.
more firm. Okay.
Yeah,
You gotta
need
be,
to
you gotta
tell
be confident.
Okay.
You gotta be confident in what
I'm
you're
always
saying.
like,
But
I don't ever want to
you-
over.
You know what I've seen other people say that's been helpful is you're the one with the license. The customer's not.
Okay.
You're the one that studied.
Yeah.
You're the one
Okay.
that's the
Tell
expert.
them what it is.
Okay.
Also, have you studied the power questions?
Power questions is how you close when somebody gives you a rebuttal, right? At the end of your sentence, you're going to ask for the business. That's what the power questions are. So, for example, how would you feel about moving forward today?
Okay.
With that said, how would you feel about starting your plan? Can I earn your business today? Is that fair? And a lot of times when I say, is that fair, I stick my hand out there. Is that fair? If I can do this, is that fair? Right? How would you feel about putting this plan in place for you today? How would you feel about moving forward under these circumstances? So what I hear you doing is you're having a conversation, but you're not actually asking for the close.
So with
Makes
every
sense.
objection he's given me,
Right.
I should come back with a closing statement of how would you feel about moving forward today? And then he
Correct.
says no, and I come back again with the answer.
Mhm.
How would you, okay.
Correct. That's just
Okay.
a flow. Because
Understood.
you know what you're doing? You're wearing down the client mentally. Like when I was before I even I got introduced in the insurance business. I used to be in car sales, right? And what I found out was that if you keep overcoming a person's objection, and you keep asking for the close, at some point all the objections run out because it makes too much sense.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
then they just say, oh, okay, all right, I'll do it. Does it make
Okay.
sense?
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
I mean, you gotta really have a strong. You have a good closer in front of you. A good closer, when he makes things make so much sense, it's hard to say no. I'm leaving. I mean, it almost feels uncomfortable, to be quite frank with you.
Okay.
Okay, so I want you to. He's going to give you objection. I want you to overcome that objection, and then ask for the close
Okay.
for the power question.
So I just feel like I can kind of, like I said, I got one in the mail. It's like $50 for, $60 for like 50,000. So I just feel like it's a lot cheaper. I could find a better deal, and I'll probably just apply for that. Yeah.
Okay. So I understand, but the deal that you saw in the mail, it's a policy we call a term, and it equals terminate. So it doesn't last your whole life. It will go up actually in the rate every 5 years, and also at a certain point, you don't have it anymore.
Mhm.
So again, this is a whole life policy. It's based on your health and age at right now,
Mhm.
and the rates never change.
Mhm.
So with that said, what do you think about moving forward today?
Much better.
Good. That's good. That's better.
Um,
Now, just to let you know,
Damn it.
all terms don't go up every 5 years. There are some terms that go up in our market. In our market, most of the terms do go up every 5 years, but there's some terms that don't. There's some terms you just fix it for like 20 years, 30 years. But that's usually for a younger person. Though.
Yeah.
So don't bring up the every.
No. I mean, what I'm saying to you is here's the facts about a term. The term will eventually go up in cost. It'll eventually expire. Man, you want your rates to stay the same, don't you?
Okay.
Right?
So, but I thought you said some do not go up.
No, all term goes up.
Oh,
in cost.
then I misunderstood what you said.
All term insurance goes up in
Oh,
cost.
I
The only
misunderstood.
way it would not go up in cost if it's something that's called a decreasing term. You guys should have learned that in when you took your insurance test, right? Instead of the rates going up, then the death benefit goes down. You'll see that usually in the government with federal government. They sell a term. They want to give their employees a term.
Okay.
But you'll see as they get older, the
Right.
benefit goes down.
Yeah, that was
That's called a decreasing term.
Okay.
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 Yeah, so that was good. So yeah, that was good. So once you give her another objection, let me see her
Okay.
overcome that objection. So that's one, right?
Okay, so you're saying that one will increase. Okay. Well, okay, yeah, I definitely don't want something that'll change. But, you know, I feel like that I should probably just talk to my wife about it first. Just make sure that it's something that she would be happy about. I'd hate to sign up and then cancel because my wife said no, you know?
Well, let me ask you this. If something happened to you, and we talked about this, you didn't put it in place, say something would happen to you tomorrow, would your wife say, oh my God, thank God you didn't put the policy in place? Or do you think she'd be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Emmanuel, now I have this money, I can do what I need to do to help you, you know, to help her get through the burial? Don't you think that's fair?
That's fair. That's a fair statement. Yeah. But you know, one of the things that I've been kind of contemplating is possibly just, you know, going to the funeral home, paint everything up there, you know.
Okay.
So what's the objection? Okay, so remember, okay, which one's cheaper, buying the insurance or paying $1,000 for the funeral?
I was going to ask you because I've never gotten that one where, so hold on, so you can go right to the funeral home and pay for everything at the funeral home?
That's what the customer thinks. So I'll let him be the educator. I'll be the customer.
So please,
but,
'cause
I mean,
I have-
but economically, what makes more sense? Would you think that it's wise for the client to take $1,000 of their money to pay for the funeral, or would you think that it makes more sense to pay $50 to insure the whole funeral?
Well, I've had people that pay the funeral home payments.
Right, I understand that, but here's the issue, right? Let's say I'm gonna go with your idea, right? So let's say you lock into a plan, right? Because they charge you for what the funeral costs plus interest, right?
Okay.
So let's say you go into that monthly plan to where you're paying it off on a monthly basis, right? Let's say you pay a year, right? Let's say the term is of when you're supposed to pay it off is, let's say 5 or 6 years, for example. Okay. If you pay it for a year and you die, what do you think then happens? Do you think the funeral is paid for, or do you think the family had to come up with the extra money to pay it off?
Well, they're going to have the extra money, right, to pay it off?
Yeah, they had to come up with the extra.
So they only paid into a year, they only get what they paid into, correct?
Correct. So
Okay.
the family had to come up with the rest of it. But would it make more sense to just pay one time, you die tomorrow, and the whole
Right,
funeral
one
is covered?
payment, okay,
Make
Okay.
sense? So that's the objection to that.
okay.
Sure.
Want to try that one again?
Yeah,
See if
yeah.
I can get all that.
Yeah. Do your best. I mean, I feel like basically, I don't know. I'm paying the insurance company all this money. I might as well just go to the funeral home and, you know, just pay off my funeral directly with them, you know.
Okay, so when you go to the funeral home, are you looking to pay them the full amount? What it costs for a funeral, like $13,000? Are you looking to pay them payments?
No, I'd be paying them every month, like the same way.
Okay.
Yeah, same way I'll pay the insurance company. Yeah.
So, you know, paying the funeral home is going to be like a credit card. You know, they're going to add interest to that. And say, you know, if you do a policy with us, I mean, God forbid something happened to you tomorrow, right? But you could pay the initial premium of $178 today. If something would happen to you tomorrow, your wife Ruth is going to get the $35,000. If you pay the funeral home, say the first payment of $178, and something happens to you tomorrow, what do you think the funeral home is going to have?
Yeah, it's true.
They're only going to have $178.
Yeah.
So looking at that, I mean, let's put the policy in place today. What do you think?
Very strong. That's strong. That's just
I think